Ho ho ho! We're back again for another DLJ Experience. It's time to answer some questions from my latest video. Once again, thank you so much for commenting. So the first comment comes from Mech. I remember hearing about this event and wanting to go, but was a poor college student, so I couldn't get the time or money to go. The idea of meeting with other idol fans is probably one of the most interesting aspects of being into the idol culture. It has definitely been a goal of mine to meet up with all the idol fans and see them as real people and get their opinions on the culture from their eyes. With every person I meet, it really has expanded my vision on the genre and makes me more interested in the idol scene. I really do hope something like this would happen again, despite its shortcomings. So admittedly, this is less of a question and more of a statement, but I think it brings out a lot of things that need answers. So first off, absolutely there were some shortcomings to Idol Matsuri. I'm going to make a video soon breaking down the things that I thought they could have done better. I will reiterate this in the video, but the point of the criticism is not to shame those involved, but rather to see how we can put it all together in order to make it work next time. Because as Mech points out, meeting other people within the culture is one of the major driving forces. I mean, I was a fan of AKB, but it wasn't until I met Day and Tron and we started socializing about it that my fandom really grew. But let's revisit that in the future. I think the major point that I want to bring up here is that he says he remembers hearing about the event and wanting to go, but because of other factors, he wasn't able to. So in my eyes, there are two types of fans. Those who are interested in going to that kind of event, and those who weren't. My argument is that the latter cared only about which groups were going. Unless they recognized a name they were familiar with, or a group they cared about, they weren't going to attend regardless. So it sucks because this statement is going to come off very us versus them. As Scott Hall famously said in one of his NWO promos, you're either with us or you're against us. Which is completely not what I'm trying to do. So please don't take it that way. But I think there needs to be a recognition that in order to grow the idol culture and idol fandom in America, there needs to be some sort of common ground among fans so that we can relate to each other, so that we can help each other, and work towards the larger goal, which is promoting the fandom and shedding light on some of the incorrect stereotypes we've been associated with. Which is why I'm constantly searching for, in my terms, idol fans, because I think those people are the ones best suited for the task. I'd also like to point out that just because you only care about one group or you only follow one group, that's not a permanent classification. It doesn't mean that you will always only follow one group. That's more of your own prerogative. Almost everybody starts out by finding that one group, and then from that point, there's the possibility of branching out into other groups. It's just one of the stages through which idol fans can progress through. So the next question I've seen a couple times, what is an idol? Idol being A-I-D-O-L. First off, I did not come up with this term. I've seen it come up in a couple other instances. Specifically, there was a subgroup that was using the name, and then there's also a tracker that uses a similar variation. But like some of you, I was a little bit confused the first time I saw it, and even a bit dismissive. But here's where I want to differentiate. Whereas some people want to put emphasis on the word love, I'm not trying to use clever wordplay to talk about these idols that we love. Nope, I started using the word idol because there's a distinction that needs to be made. Not from within the idol community, but outside of it. So if you go to Google or you go to YouTube and you type in idol, I-D-O-L, what are the results that it brings up? American Idol. That goddamn show. Every English-speaking idol fan who has ever searched on the internet has come across this problem before. So right off the bat, it creates this huge problem for anyone trying to find information about the subject. Whether it be someone searching for a deeper meaning behind it all, or just someone looking for some Japanese music. There's a barrier there that we've all been just going around, rather than finding a way directly over it. When we do our searches for idol content, we always have to add the qualifier Japanese idols, or something to the extent of J-pop or Japan. So I'm hoping we can popularize the term idols with an A and forego all that extra mess by just typing in one extra letter in the front. It's not a new term that we have to use. It's essentially the same spelling, but I think it will make a huge difference as far as clarity for both us and potentially any newcomers who may be interested in dipping their toe in the shallow end of the idol ocean. And if you think it's a little too confusing, just remember, in Japan, idol is spelled with an A. Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you guys soon for another video.